I'm going to be painting on Fidget Toys from Five Below, except it's a little more than just that. Today I'm going to be making the most cursed, silly, unhinged fidget dolls. Or, they're not really dolls. More like stuffed animals. Fidget freaks. That's what I'm making today. I've dipped my toes into this a little bit with Winston the Owl Squishmallow, who you guys really seemed to love. So this is part 2 of that fidget extravaganza. I got this idea from Nerdy Crafter. She's unboxed and reviewed some really unique mystery box fashion fidgets on her channel. And I think it might be cool to make my own version of these. So here's my Five Below haul for today. Notice the bungee bands.
Why do I regret this?
Those are gonna end up being a huge disappointment later on. If you don't want to be a huge disappointment, then be on the lookout for Tootsie's favorite toys that he's hidden throughout this video. He's counting on you. Also, I feel the need to mention, I am going to be cutting up a Squishmallow today. It's Brindle the Rainbow Platypus. I don't know if anyone feels strongly about her. Personally, I don't. I couldn't find Santino the Platypus. That's who I really wanted, but I settled for Brindle. Anyways, I'm starting off with this stuffed animal, or it's not actually an animal at all. It's more like a stuffed drink. I think Five Below goes for that cute kawaii kind of vibe. I see it everywhere. Sparkle butts are taking over the world.
Whatever.
I'm about to mix things up a little, make things a whole lot more derpy using this fidget toy. They're called twisty tubes. Someone told me not to let my cats on the table. The thing is, I'm not letting them. They pretty much do whatever they want, even when I don't want them to. It is what it is. It's a 2-foot apartment. There's not many places for them to go. Bobalicious is about to go through some amputations. Perfect. I'm thinking about turning all its appendages, like the arms and the straw, into fidgets. That's not the only fidget aspect I'm gonna be adding to it, but it's a start. I'm basically just going around with Fabricot glue. I really can't live without this stuff at this point. And then I'm just stuffing in the twisty tube. They're not meant to be his arms. They're basically just supposed to be like extensions for the arms. I'm adding the arms back on top, so they're still here. He still has arms. They're just a bit longer and more fidgety now, and a lot more posable too. You can make them like hug people now. That's awesome. Subscribe for free hugs from Bobalicious. Look at that. That's so cool.
Oh wow.
Look at that. That's cool. I'm not quite done with Bobalicious yet. So I pulled out this giant watermelon squishy. It's green, so I figured it would go perfectly with Bobalicious's color scheme. At first glance, it looks like it would just be a giant green squishy, but if you take a closer look and actually read the packaging, you realize it's green on the outside, red on the inside.
Wow.
I didn't notice that little detail, so I was a bit surprised when I squeezed it, and it was red on the inside. Life's just full of surprises. At least it's a fun fidget. Helps take off years of stress. Not really. I'm gonna add the watermelon inside the boba. But first, all of these little udders have got to go. Everything I'm doing right now and everything I'm about to do to Bobalicious might be a huge mistake. I haven't made up my mind yet. The 2 circles on each of the sides were placed a little too close, so instead of being 2 little circles, they made 1 slightly bigger circle.
That's great.
That's not something I accounted for. Nevertheless, I gotta finish what I've started. I'm gutting out his innards, just trying to make some space by taking out a bunch of that filling. I thought I could just stuff the watermelon squishy in through one of the incisions, but clearly there's been some miscalculations.
It's too big.
So now I'm reevaluating my life choices and cutting even more incisions into this poor drink.
I am sorry.
This squishy is huge. It might be too big for Bobalicious, but at this point, there's no going back.
This was a bad idea. Why did I do this?
I didn't know if I'd be able to close Bobalicious back up. It took a little bit of work and some Fabricot glue, but eventually I did get to close that chapter. I do like the fact that his innards pop out every time I squeeze him. I just don't know if I overcomplicated things by adding in that giant squishy. Oh well, too late now. Next thing he needs is a new face. I think his eyes are closed. He looks like he's laughing. I don't want a giggling boba tea, so I'm covering that up, making a few necessary changes. And now he looks like the kind of boba tea that would chase you down a dark alley. And I like that. Cute, cute. Anyways, it's time to focus my attention on Brindle the Rainbow Platypus. She's no Santino the Platypus, but close enough. Brindle on a budget.
I'm so scared.
I'm starting off by snipping the tag. No one's gonna make a living reselling Squishmallows. Platypuses have very prominent duck-like bills and tails. It's what makes them so cute, but she's not gonna be cute for long. She's about to get a whole lot more weird. Take it from a guy who knows. Cute and weird. That's my specialty. They look like a worm. They're pretty fun to stretch. I'll give them that much. I figured I'd glue 2 of them to the bottom, have them be Brindle's legs. In theory, this was a great idea. I think they would make for some fun fidgeting. So these are silicone fidgets. That's something to keep in mind. I tried using fabric hot glue, a whole bunch of fabric hot glue, but that wasn't working. So I'm moving on to plan B, silicone glue. The reason I didn't try this sooner is because with silicone glue, you have to let it sit for 24 hours to fully bond and be completely dry. While that's doing its thing, I wanted to attach some webbed feet to the bottom of the bungee bands. I was trying really hard to keep everything in place with tons and tons of silicone glue, and then let it dry overnight. The next day I came back, tried fidgeting with the legs to de-stress, and it just made my stress levels go through the roof, because turns out even after 24 hours, the legs just aren't staying in place. So plan A, the fabric hot glue, didn't work. Plan B, silicone glue and 24 hours of wait time, also did not work. I've now decided to move on to plan C. As a last resort, I've decided to ditch the bungee bands. Sometimes you just gotta know when to let go. Back to square one. Brindle's still gonna have feet, they're just not gonna be as long. I'm cutting them out of felt, no bungee bands involved. Though of course, I'll still be adding a fidget aspect to them. They're gonna be crinkly feet, made out of my cat's crinkle balls. My cats really don't care much about them. I don't think they're gonna miss them. I had my heart set on the long bungee band legs, but these are actually looking pretty good, so I'm not mad about it. And, in my humble opinion, they make for a very satisfying fidget.
Wow. I like that. Oh, how cute. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh. That's nice. That's a nice fidget.
It works. It actually works.
Beautiful.
I have plans for Brindle's tail as well. I'm trying to add as many fidget toy aspects to these as possible. I'm getting rid of the stuffing, because it's not very fun or fidgety. Now, originally I was just adding another one of my cat's crinkle balls in. I liked the crinkle fidget, and I thought it would be cool to have the tail be just as crinkly as the feet. Then I started thinking. There's honestly so many fidget possibilities. There's so many options of what you could add in, like maybe kinetic sand, though I don't have any of that on hand. Or, I thought, you could add rice. We usually cook with Tilda rice, but we also had this sticky rice on hand that we made sushi with. If you watched my Halloween cookies video, then you can probably guess how the sushi turned out.
Okay. Whoa. That's not good. That's not good.
You want a little bit of space, like I know what I'm talking about. You just want a little bit of space. Look at that. You can smack someone with the tail.
Is it fun to squeeze them?
I think so, yeah. Fun as it's gonna get around these parts. Now you have some crinkly feet and a rice-filled tail. Hallelujah. I still have to gouge out her eyes. I plan on making her eyes fidget toys as well. I'm gonna be turning them into like joystick eyes. That's the goal. To do that, I'm gonna need some more materials. Off camera, I went in with a drill to make the holes a little bigger. I then took a rubber band, cut that open, and pushed that through the cap. Things are coming along nicely. I know these don't look like much yet, but they're getting there. I sewed them through the poster board pieces and tied them up. Now they're like little joysticks. Fun stuff. I gouged out Ducky's eyes to make room for new and improved fidget toy replacements. The joystick eyes have limited mobility. I think because of the cloth of the plushie getting in the way, they work, just not as well as they normally do. It's the thought that counts. They both turned out very creepy cute. I love all the fidget toy editions. Despite the setbacks I encountered, I'm pretty happy with how everything turned out today.